And Donald Trump talked about draining the swamp. When you talk about that, there are many people whose indulgent and government-sponsored lifestyles are threatened, so they mobilise.
Absolutely. And the swamp fights back.
Yep.
That's something that, quite frankly, even though I've battled the swamp for many years, I didn't realize how hard they would fight back.
Yeah.
It can be Republicans. It can be Democrats. Anyone who resists change, who embraces the status quo, comes shooting at the reform agents. And we see that we'll see that happen with President Bolsonaro, quite frankly, in Brazil.
What should we make of these relentless attacks now against Donald Trump, presumably designed to disqualify him from running in 2024?
Well, bingo, you got it exactly. This is all about electoral politics. This isn't about some saving American society or the rest of the world. This is about people who have their power, who think now that Joe Biden and Democrats are in control, that they can cling to their power. They don't want Trump to come back and say, wait a minute, the people should be in power here. The other thing, too, that I really think President Trump needs to come back, and we see it here in Australia, the need to stand up to the CCP and to China. And Australians are so much more aware of what's happening than even in the United States. But if we don't stand up against these authoritarian regimes, we're going to end up living in them.
So will he stand?
I believe so. I do think President Trump runs. I think the more they attack him, the more they come at him with legal assaults and things of that nature, the more likely he is to run. But here's the thing, Alan, I don't think it'll be against Joe Biden. I think even Democrats know that Joe Biden is really walking on eggshells. Some of the gaffes that he makes on a daily basis are scary. It's scary because it could lead us into war.
As I say, Jason, Biden's greatest insurance policy is Kamala Harris. I mean, they're propping Biden up because Kamala Harris will be many times worse. I mean, the incoherence of Biden and the cognitive deficiency are disturbing for the Western world. I mean, you made that point about the Chinese Communist Party. Greta has taken a hardline stance against that. Not the people, but the Communist Party, the leadership. You've described as an existential threat to Western civilization. Jason, are we equal to that threat?
I don't think so, and that's what scares me. I think that we need to stand up and be firm against that threat. Otherwise, the Chinese, and again, the Chinese Communist Party, not the free people of China, but the thugs and the thugocracy that runs China. Communism is almost kind of a cover. It's really as if they're mafia bosses. But if we cherish our freedoms, if we cherish the right to dissent, as you so smartly put it, our freedom is the ability to dissent. This is what makes it democracy.
Absolutely.
Unless we embrace it and we...
Yeah, keep going.
I was going to say, unless we embrace the decentralization of free speech, what you're doing with ADH, what I'm doing with Getter, what all these other individualized, decentralized platforms are doing, are ensuring that our voices will never be snuffed out.
Can be heard, absolutely. We're the voice of the voiceless here. You see, you made this point that the big tech platforms like Twitter and Facebook started off as projects to really bring people together. But at a certain point, they want to disconnect people who are not like them.
Yes, and there's something that not many people realize is that the political left and the Silicon Valley elites blamed Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg for President Trump winning in 2016. It was almost like an episode of Scooby-Doo where they said, if it wasn't for you pesky kids, we would have gotten away with it. That's why you saw big tech change the rules and initiate shadow banning and deplatforming and things like that. Because in the past, revolutions have been fought and won on military strength. Now, revolutions are fought and won with this, a smartphone and your voice. This is what will protect freedom going forward.